All right, hello everyone. Here we are setting up for hole number 3 here, which I believe is par 5. Yes, okay. So very strong side wind on this one. There's, it's going to be a lot easier to do with Apocalypse. Similarly, you can use a Thor's hammer and a, let's just go ahead and do the Thor's. Since I have a lot of balls at my disposal, I'm just going to go Thor with the Royal Ball. Even better would be a Kingmaker X. So let me just actually pull that out. It's a little bit better ball, a little bit slower needle. Additionally to that, it also has more side spin, which will actually come in play for the second shot. It'll give me a chance to still potentially make this. It's going to be a very, very challenging hole. However, it's still something that you can take advantage of and potentially get, especially if you're lucky. Might just require, definitely some good luck you'll need. But it is, in theory, going to be possible, especially if you abide by the technique that I'm going to show you. So, first thing I want to talk about is this drive. You'll notice that you'll need to overpower. I would recommend probably going full, and you'll also have to overplay. You're aiming up at higher ground. You won't need much in terms of the curl department. I might go just a little bit more than nothing. Let's see what my opponent does here. Let's see where he lands. I think he's going to land right of center. Yeah. So you can see even with no curl, it does get over there. So you really won't need to do much. But you can also add just a little bit. You can see with the Apoc, especially with the power 4, you don't even need any power. It's going to be a little bit more helpful for you to have a little bit more power, but I could also tweak the top spin as well. You can see that we want it to land somewhere up in here. So we are going to want to go at least, I'm going to go at least a quarter power, probably around half is what I'm going to do. So again, you're going to want some sort of overplay. That's 20%. Let's try 20%, see what that looks like. So that's 5 rings, and we're going to go up into the edge of this tree, kind of towards 8.5. And as I mentioned, right around half power, a little bit of curl, never hurt. So you'll see it still lands well short, but you can see with the curl, it does give you very good. I'm in a very good spot away from the tree towards the bunker, but I also kept it, from over curling too much, but it does give me just a little bit better angle than my opponent. So what I usually do is aim towards the top of that shadow, bottom of that shadow, similar to where my opponent does. I'll play very close to 1 per ring. This little side spin that I was mentioning about having, it's going to give me a little bit better chance than my opponent here to potentially get it all the way over towards the hole. So you'll see his ball probably come somewhere over towards the left, and we can actually, much easier than what you just saw there, get it over the full way. You can see he was actually still very close from being able to do it there. However, it is that much easier. So you can see naturally landing here looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crank this up because I'm going to need to do it with, some counter curl back against. So we're going to do this, just kind of crank it up. And this is where I was mentioning that it's going to make it just a little bit easier. Now I'm going to go, oh wow, I don't even need to. Well, I set up to do it, so I'm just going to do it. I expected to have to go through the trees. What I'm doing now is applying curl to basically just offset the wind. keep in mind, I might not always get it to where I just did. So, you know, chances are you're probably going to need, but you can see even with that counter curl back towards the left, I can still end up right of the hole. It's going to be much easier. With the dead ball, you might not always, you know, it's going to be very risky. Whereas you can see with my shot, it's going to be, you're going to have a lot of room to play with. So being able to take that 3 side spin option, you're going to see me do this with a Kingmaker and Apocalypse next, but I did want to put that one out there just so you guys could see kind of an alternate perspective, especially with the Thor's Hammer. I'm going to recommend that you guys do that just for a little bit of extra length. Similarly, you could modify that just slightly, add one more top spin and probably full crank it with a Kingmaker, but it does take a little bit extra risk on that drive. My drive was very low risk. I didn't expect to ever hit a 2-ring great ball. Ever. Like it's just not going to happen very often when I'm only using half power. So a little bit more control. Hopefully, you know, you can use some variation of that. Like I said, you know, I am going to still run through a guide with Apoc so you guys get both perspectives. So good luck, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.